Man's obsession with drones lead him to uncover an intriguing secret. Evan Kilcuse, also known as Evan Kalen U2, is madly in love with drones. Everything about them fascinates him a lot, to the point where they became a literal obsession. Despite his great passion for drones, they are not part of his daily occupation. What he did for a living was very far from anything related to them. He used to work at jet ski and boat rental at Lake Berryessa. Even though Evan has a very packed schedule every day, he would always find time to go on adventures with his drone, an object that never leaves his side, almost like a puppy. One day as he was flying his drone over Lake Berryessa, Evan noticed something very strange in the water formation, something that wasn't there before. Evan saw a whole formation inside the lake. The formation was massive and seemed as though it was swallowing the water of the lake, some sort of portal to another world. The scene seemed straight out of a sci-fi movie. The hole was in the center of the lake, and all the water was swirling around it in a very unrealistic scene. Evan had never seen anything like this before. He had no idea how the hole formed, nor what it was leading to, and he was determined to solve the mystery behind it. Lake Berryessa is the largest man-made lake in Napa County, California. It is designed by Hydroelectric Monticello Dam and is flanked with vacant mountains. Naturally, the reservoir is quite popular among not just residents of California, but even neighboring states who would come spend weekends there, especially in summertime, where the lake is filled with fishermen, water skiers, swimmers, and cakers. The lake made headlines worldwide when a mysterious hole was found inside it. What further caused the big fuss about it is that nobody knew where it came from. It just appeared out of nowhere and was igniting many questions. Evan was determined to use every resource. He had to pierce its secret and get to the end of it. This is not the first time a strange hole has appeared and upheaved the world. There is a long list of mysterious holes that took the world by surprise. Dean's Blue Hole, which is 660 feet deep, Giant Blue Hole in Belize, which is 407 feet deep, and Devil's Sinkhole that is 350 foot deep, to name a few. In order to crack the code of what the hole is and where it was leading, Kilcuse had to investigate further and put into use his beloved drones. He took his drone to the lake and set to fly into the direction of the hole. Everything was going just fine until the device's screen began to flash in an odd way due to unusual glitches. This was the first time his drone had shown such technical issues in the middle of the day. After piloting the drone back to the shore, he carefully inspected it to see what was going on with its drone. Thankfully, the only issue was the battery that was drained. The drone was the only tool he had that would allow him to demystify the secret of the pit. Losing it now was the last thing he wanted. He checked if the drone took any picture of the pit. Luckily, the drone had, and they were clear footages of the hole. Kilcuse, who saw the hole from a distance, had no idea that the pit was as big as it actually was. However, it was still not clear what actually lingered inside. He needed to take another shot to find out. He was finally able to get the footage of the gigantic pit, but he was yet to get pictures of what the hole held inside. He never felt as intrigued. He wanted to find answers and couldn't stay in his ignorance any further. He did some research before further exploring the hole. While going through the history of the pool, he learned a shocking truth. Some years ago, in 1997, a swimmer named Emily Schwalik, 41, passed away while swimming in the same lake. It is believed that the reason behind the death of the woman is the same hole that he captured on his drone's camera. The witnesses had seen her clinging to the edge of the hole before getting swallowed inside. He had two options to follow: either use his drone to explore the inside or jump down in the hole to find out what is in there. He was aware that his drone was not capable enough to survive, and get into the pit himself would be the stupidest thing to do. He had to come up with a more realizable idea. Nevertheless, Kilcuse gave it another try by flying his drone above the hole. However, this time he decided to take some precautions. He piloted the drone by a perimeter and decided to get a peek inside the hole. After that, he would be planning his next step. He was soon going to find out the shocking truth behind the mysterious deadly hole. The mission he had undertaken was almost impossible, but he was determined to find out the reason behind this puzzling abyss. California has been undergoing a serious drought for the past 10 years. The calamity had made the entire ecosystem suffer, including Lake Berryessa. The water level of the lake was scarily reduced into a very low level. It was almost dry after it used to be filled to its brim. The situation was so severe and hopeless that it seemed impossible to restore the lake to its previous state. The lake lost many of its visitors. From there on, the water buddy lived a forgotten life. It came into people's notice when the rain revealed an unbelievable secret that has long been hidden. After an entire decade, it finally rained in California. The very day was celebrated by every resident there. Life was finally coming back after rain long abandoned the state. Little did they know there was a very shocking truth awaiting them. Kilkuse was the first resident who noticed the hole, and he was hell-bent to resolve this mystery. According to him, the hole was 72 feet wide. He was yet to find out how deep it was, as he couldn't get to the bottom of it and had no tools to achieve that. Despite all of his efforts, there was no breakthrough. Kilkuse did not know what he was going to do next. He hit a wall and his frustration only grew bigger. The only thing he was armed with was his drone. But for how long was the drone going to help him? He decided to go to the lake one more time and began flying his drone. His heart was racing, waiting for the final reveal of the answer to all the swirling questions that kept him awake at night for days. Gradually, his drone made its way towards the hole. But yet again, it failed to capture what was lurking inside the hole. It was then he made his drone turn towards the dam wall. Many other people were stunned by the finding and were as intrigued as Kilkuse was. Some of them even tried to figure out what it actually was. Only Kilkuse had the guts to go through with the investigation to unravel the mystery of the hole. A current coursed through his body when he peeked inside the hole. Either the water of the lake was falling inside or the water was speeding out of it. Whatever the case was, the hole was hell intriguing. Kilkuse was finally able to resolve the mystery. It turned out that the hole was nothing else but a man-made spillway, though not many people were aware of it, which is why a major population of the city got very confused when it first appeared. However, a spillway of this kind was not a common phenomenon. Lake Berryessa is a man-made lake, as was previously mentioned, and this mysterious spillway was formed at the same time the lake was created. Being the 7th largest artificial lake in California, it harbors massive water, which is why this spillway was made. The spillway's purpose is to prevent the overflow of water in the lake, and it does not let water build pressure around the dam. The odd thing that remained to be answered was how come no one else noticed it before. The reason why the spillway continued to evade the eyes of people was because of the drought that had clouded California for over a decade. The water level of the lake was all-time low during those years, which is why the spillway was left closed. The Water and Power Operations Manager at Solano Irrigation District, Kevin King, said, "The Bureau has protocol and inspections, and with every inspection, everything has been checked out so far. This construction and structure, Monticello, are much different than Oroville. The traditional spillway construction wouldn't have fit here. It would have been very costly to drill into the side of the mountains here. So that's how they came up with the design," he added. The design of the spillway is called Bellmouth. The other popular name this hole goes by is Glory Hole. It is kind of a funnel popping out of the dam. The hole is 28 feet at the bottom and stretches up to 75 feet in diameter. Now we will learn why the image of a whirlpool occurs when the water reaches a certain level in the lake. When Kilkuse finally discovered what exactly it is, he was fulfilled and satisfied. He says, "It will be a great summer up here again. No doubt, the lake is going to enjoy even more footfalls in summer." The dam, created in the 1940s, is sort of a lifeline to the people of the town. It came in the use of drinking and irrigation. It serves 600,000 people in the city. The dam has the capability of holding 526 billion gallons of water in surplus. King, who supervises the operations of the dam, explained, "As the water in the sink rises, it drains through that hole." He continued, "But when it's less full, the water is stagnant." The spillway has grown popular thereafter. King says, "I went up there the other day, and there were about 15 drones flying around and people taking videos." He adds, "It's really dramatic to watch." KillCuse has a huge number of followers, going up to 32,000. However, his video could get the attention of only some thousand people. But the video of this spillway garnered him about millions of views.